going on sound and
Yeah.
trajectory and things like that. I'm
Yeah.
not really diving too deep in. I know you're not really paying tons
Yeah.
of attention. Looks good.
Okay.
The last 3 shots that we hit
Mm-hmm.
have a path that's 3-4 to the right.
Path 3-4. That means going inside out to the right.
Then 4-8, and then 1-8. Okay, so probably a smidge right on the alignment is what I was seeing there, but really, really tight. And
Okay.
those numbers are pretty small too.
Okay.
Now, you know, you are in that hanging out at that 0 attack angle kind of world. Your swing direction isn't crazy to the right, and your path numbers are fairly small. You're really close. If we start getting the hands moving a little bit more left, that's going to aid in getting a little more attack angle.
Okay.
As we start to cover the ball a little better, but you really, that's a trend in the right direction for you.
Okay.
You're definitely less to the right and sweepy, you know, kind of than
Gotcha.
you were. So if I just simply said on this next swing, only command I'm going to give you is I want you to have the bottom be in front of the ball, feel like you're a little more down, your hands are working a little more left, and hit me a little pull cut.
Okay.
So you're not going to change your line, but we want this golf ball to start more left.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what we create.
So hands more here.
Yeah, and you're kind of feeling like you're working downhill a little bit more, and you'll thump that turf out in front of the ball with hands working left. We got to create a pull cut.
Okay.
So you did a great job. Now all of a sudden you've changed all the math.
Yeah. Oh my gracious.
Now you go to a 0-ish swing direction with an attack angle down 1-4, path 1-6 out to the right. You know, that golf ball look-wise, you know, center of the club. So path was 1-6 right. If we're going to hit a true pull cut, that needs to be a negative number.
Okay.
So let's run this to a little extreme
Okay.
and let's see if we can get some negative numbers. See, one thing in golf is you can't take non-desired to perfect.
Uh-huh.
You need to take non-desired to perfect.
Okay.
You've got to get those feels every time you practice. Most players, highest level tour players, they don't like work every shot.
Yeah.
You play one shot pattern, but in practice,
Yeah.
you know, both ways.
Yeah.
You know, they really can feel those differences and get it working left more, down more, pull cut with a bigger divot.
Okay.
So we definitely got a left swing direction there,
Yeah.
and we got an attack angle down 1-6,
Yeah.
a 0 pass. So we're getting closer to being able to create a pull cut.
Okay.
Let's do it again. Because it's a lot easier out there when you feel like I'm getting a little one-sided to have a feel and go from, okay, it's too much draw, I'm going to go to a pull cut, then to try to go to a technical thought about,
Yeah.
okay, what's face doing, things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So get a great grip, good alignment, good ball position. Awesome. That's the best one yet.
Yeah.
So you got a path that's minus 0.2 to ching. You made a change in your golf swing.
Yeah.
And you did it in a very just organic way.
Yeah.
Now, the way you can work on this for start line purposes is you could, you know, put the aligner in front of you, put the, the arrow would be right there, and then, we would have, out in front of that, we would have our 0 line.
Yeah.
So our 0 line would be like this rod.
Uh-huh.
And what you could do is you could, you guys could switch off. So Mike would come and stand like right here,
Uh-huh.
and you get fades on this side. Okay? And then, for Eli, come stand on this side, get some draws around him,
I like that drill.
Yeah.
Mike, you can stand for
So, in your mind's eye, you're going to point the face.
Yep.
Now, this is not a functional way to hit a fade, okay? When you hit a fade the right way, you would be pointing the face left of this.
Mm-hmm.
But for purposes of what you're changing now with your feel is, point the face right on the rod, but get the golf ball to start one ball left of the rod.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And that's going to get your hand path a little bit more left. So you did it, you got it left.
Yeah.
Got a little chunky,
Chunky. Yeah.
but you got it left, okay? So now give me more of a downhill feel, downhill, you know, as far as like, once you kind of get it up there, you're going to work downhill. Club's still going to stay behind you, hand path working left.
Okay.
Yep. Way to go. Way to go, man. Just going to look at the video first.
Okay.
Nice travel there. Good top. That's very good. I mean, if we were to go back in the archives and pull your impact location from a couple of years ago, we may say we've never covered the ball like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and things I look at, you know, if and you got, you know, those shiny buttons there, and at impact, I'd love to return and get ahead of that, and you do so nicely. You know, your buttons are over there. Your sternum's probably right there exactly, which is moved forward. The butt of the club is bisecting your left leg. You got a little shaft lean there, and just a nice exit through the shot. You created an attack angle down 2.4 with the path minus 0.8, swing direction 2-3 left with a 60-degree plane on that style of shot. That's perfect. Couldn't be better.
So on the swing left piece,
Uh-huh.
because I feel that's one thing. I feel like when I have the feeling of that, man alive, the contact is completely different. But when I lose it a little bit, it just goes. But when you say swing left, you're thinking hands.
That's right.
The hands are what you're focused on.
Yeah, and here's the pitfall there. Okay, do that one more time.
Yep.
So let's actually put your club right there.
Okay.
So a pitfall there is when guys try to throw it left from the top. So for you, you're gonna get the top the same way you normally do. You're gonna feel this same shallowing here. All of that is the same. You're not throwing the club.
Right.
And then as you go around, pushing off that leg, hands go around. You're exiting with the hands left of the club and to the left. You know, it's really, you know, it's a lot of people really get blown away when you just take off a little hoop and you just go straight zero swing direction will be like this, and they feel, okay, well, I go back, my hands will be right there. But if I keep this here, the amount of rotation that I make, those hands are gone in the picture behind you on a 2D world.
Yeah.
So when you video your golf swing at this location, kind of like right there, those hands start to disappear. The club kind of looks like this.
Yeah.
You're moving around the corner. They get out of the camera pretty fast.
Yeah. It's just funny. That's counterintuitive and a little to think of. If you're seeing bigger hook, which my miss is a hook, it's not a hook, it's a hard pull. But it's counterintuitive to think, well, the more your hands travel left, it'll actually get rid of that.
The ball wants to curve away from the direction you swing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So most of the time when you see a miss,
Yeah.
your hook, slice, whatever, the ball is wanting to curve away from the direction you swing, so the hook's coming from an end out.
Okay.
Even though that you feel like, man, that ball almost started over there. Well, it's because you're throwing the face so much to make that work. The ball starts basically with that face point.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's just getting all of its instructions from the pack.
Yeah. Okay.
For the most part. You know, it's like, yeah, do we need a TrackMan to tell us that? We don't, okay? But is it really neat to get the numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that way there's no guessing on your end.
Right.
You know. You wanna hit some drivers?
Yeah, let me hit a couple drives here, and then we can swap.
Perfect little baby cut, right down the middle. Little toe draw.
Yeah.
So it's really the exact same shot that you previously hit, but the location of the strike was more towards the toe.
Right.
Man, you're swinging so stinking good. Again, a 0 swing direction,
A little high in the face.
all the good stuff.
Is that it right there?
Yep, so that's a little one dimple high heel on that ball. It did exactly what I would think that it should do. I mean, man, your golf swing's gold right now.
Okay.
You're in a good spot.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
No,
All right, so
every-
I'm gonna keep working. I think the big thing for me is just continuing to feel the hand path. So
Absolutely. Not every golf lesson is information. Not every golf lesson is a change. Sometimes a golf lesson is a checkup.
Yeah. Yeah.
And today I would check that box for you. It's simply just a checkup.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you? Where are we at? What's your last couple of days been like?
Last couple of days have not been good, but I'm in the middle. I've been putting, this last 2 weeks, I've put in a lot of work on what you said last time.
Okay.
So, Ironman,
Yeah.
trying to get good depth, and then trying to get this the twist and the bowing.
Sure.
And then also
The pressure.
yeah.
I brought something to help you today with that too.
Okay.
That I think will did a little homework and actually ordered something that I think will help your feel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
When you say that the last couple of days hasn't been good, what's the pattern been? Have you been hitting hooks or slices?
I've been. It's mostly ball contact. I've been hitting the ball fat,
Chunky? Yeah.
and
The irons, I would say the irons haven't been compressed. The driver, when he hits it, has been crushed.
Mm-hmm.
The
You think there's more speed there?
Slight pull. The habit is a slight pull off target on the driver.
Mm-hmm.
On the irons, he's been hitting them. The contact is coming way behind ball first. It's
Okay.
way behind the ball.
Okay. Because I did capture data on your warm up there. Well, you're a different guy there. You're definitely getting this part of the golf swing is better, no doubt. That part of the golf swing right there is the demon.
yeah.
Okay, that part right there. So we're going to work on that a little bit. And then that part of the golf swing right there is pretty good. You know, that's not a, you know, not anything that we necessarily would not like.
Was that a slide? Would you call that a?
It was, but that was your shallowing piece to make what you were doing at the top work.
Okay.
But major props on getting to there. That's, you know, changing anything in the golf swing is tough. So, if you remember a little bit of that, what we talked about with these hands and that drill we did, we're gonna keep adding some ways to do that.
Okay.
Go ahead and sit up there for me. And swing to the top. Now, I probably would like it even a little bit for you, a little more turn, a little more lengthening of that leg, just a fraction more. But now, when you transition, when you start the golf swing, when you shorten here, you're going to feel like you're racing with this elbow, but leaving the club head behind.
Okay.
So that pressure that you're feeling right there in that trail arm is going to be there.
Okay.
And so you're coming and you end up at impact with a, pretty short arms, what it's gonna feel like. You're not gonna get there,
Right.
but it's gonna feel like that, and you're almost gonna feel like you finished with that
Okay.
short arm right there. You're,
Okay.
like, trust me, you're probably not gonna get there, it's just a feel.
Okay.
So to promote some of this, I'm going to introduce this training aid that I got just for you. I was searching for something for you that would help us with this feel.
Okay.
Came across this. Just like that. You don't have your arm pinched or anything there, do I?
No, I'm good.
Okay, now go ahead and grip it. Okay. And go to the top for me. So then as you feel this little squeeze of those forearms, and we leave the club head back and rotate the chest. Love that, man, right there. That's right, that's right. Good. And what you're learning there is you're learning just a little delay of the hip. You're learning not to push with that right arm against the back of the shaft
Right.
early. Most of your previous golf has been catch up with the right hand.
Yeah. Okay.
So go ahead and go to the top and start down and through. Now go ahead and put it with some speed. Awesome. So let's start by giving you something to hit that's not a golf ball, but something that'll get in the way of impact. And just swing through that little gate with your club head. So it's not real narrow there, but just give you a little intent. It's all right. That's why it's there. And at home, okay, you can take this is real simple. You can wad up the paper wad,
Yeah.
put a little tape around it, hit it into a wall, whatever. You need a little bit of intent, a little something, just to give you a guide.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Same thing. Good. Okay. Let's see you hit a shot. Let's miss that tee. Okay. Nice. Very good. Because you gotta change pattern, okay?
Yeah.
You gotta change the pattern, and you're not going to be able to hit the perfect golf shot and have all those thoughts.
Yep.
So make it as simple as possible. That's really good, man. Just two end out on the path, but what you did in the transition right there
Was that good?
was really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Really good.
That's good. It feels like I've never swung it before.
Well, you've never swung it like that.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's so good, man. Really changing some things nicely. Beautiful golf swing. Now, I snuck a video in there on you without you knowing.
Okay.
Just so we want to put a little extra pressure on you. Now it's a little different angle, so I'm going to just take the down the line right there, blow it up, go to the top, and that's how the club came down. The golf swing is sick. Now we're going to take your original video from just a second ago, split it over on this side. Okay, so the way that we transitioned earlier was kind of stood up, pushed on the back of the shaft, and let it tumble. And on this one, we got it up there. First of all, I'm bragging on your takeaway, it's so much better. And then you start it down and get around the corner.
Dang.
Come on now, that's so good. All right, that makes sense?
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Yeah.
That's pretty, that don't mean nothing,
Yep.
okay? It's not functional, it's not gonna be functional yet, because, I mean, you have a lot to think about there, but you're gonna have to give it a lot of attention
Yeah.
to make that change. You make this change, you're not gonna maybe like some of the things that happen, but for the long-term health of your golf game,
Right.
getting this extension, getting more dynamic, getting some of those transitional things to happen are gonna be huge for you. It's totally like taking your circuitry, all of it, and rewiring it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that if you weren't any good.
Yep.
Okay, because you gotta be
Yeah.
good enough to make the change.
Right.
You know, look here, there's a ton of guys playing golf out there. There's nothing they can do. They're gonna shoot 90 the rest of their life. It's just golf.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But you're better than that. You know, you should be a scratch golfer. You have all the stuff you need. So make practice swing again for me.
Okay.
That's so good. Just
Okay.
do that.
All right.
Woo. Come on. Okay, again, love it. I don't want to come at you with too much. That's enough.
Okay.
Like that's a year's worth.
Figured.
It's a lot, but okay, you're gonna get that feel, and then if you can kind of work downhill a little bit more and get a little more mash and get a little more angle of attack,
Okay.
you're gonna feel like, hey, I can ball first, get that bottom out in front a little bit,
Okay.
and that's gonna help you on different surfaces. See, what you experienced yesterday was a change in surface. So management of the bottom of the swing is so important because we change surfaces all the time. But we could time it up and get to where, okay, we could have a particular delivery that works where we hit balls at all the time. Okay,
Okay.
that's the golf part. But then we show up somewhere and the surface changes and we get exposed a little bit and tells us, okay, we don't really have good control of that. And it usually happens in the short game a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen really high level players, you know, go to like a place like Muirfield, Jack's place, you know, all the green surrounds are mowed toward the tee. The grain is against you, tight to the ground. If you come in with the leading edge, you chunk it. These are really good players, but it's a change in surface
Right.
because they're coming off Bermuda, firm surface, a little different.
Yep.
And so for you, I think that was probably as much of it as anything, but that just lets you know that, hey, long term, I've got to make
Yeah.
a little change here.
Understood.
Okay? So when you get to working on the bottom here, go ahead and sit up here and I'm going to tug on you a little bit.
Yeah.
Go to your top. Okay. So again, if we don't slide and we can kind of feel this little downhill feel right there,
Okay.
and we're pushing off and going around, now our bottom should be a little more in front.
Yep.
Now, because you stood it up early, you slid forward to shallow it late.
I see.
That was a good thing you were doing, it's just not a good thing long term.
I see.
Okay, so go ahead and sit up there. Go to the top. Okay, compress down. And around. Yes. Okay, make a practice swing like that for me, please. That's awesome. That's so good. Hey, you thumped the turf. Hey, do that again. Maybe the best golf swing of your life. Okay, see if we can hit one like that now.
All right.
Some crazy guy giving you 47 different commands. It's impossible to do a shot, okay? But go ahead and line up down there. Oh. That's going to happen.
Yep.
Go to the top. That to your top. Breathe. All right. Yes, sir. Okay, practice swing. Yes, sir. Okay, get it. That was close. That was close. You thinned it, but really good. You were down 4 on your attack angle. Your previous one, you were about around level. Okay, so you got a little change there. Okay. So that's what we're after, and a great way to practice this, if you were on grass, it's really soggy today, we won't do it because we actually have standing water out there. But go ahead and sit up there. So for purposes of the mat, but if you were on the grass, you might connect two tees, so you have one here and one here, to let you know where the club started.
Yep.
And so in your mind's eye, you're just thinking about getting this thing, so it's coming from in here, but it's gonna exit, it's gonna move somewhere like this.
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of people, check their divot structure a lot of times, and they say, okay, well, I want it going at the target, but that doesn't really mean anything. What we're looking for is where's the bottom of it.
Okay.
So sit up there,
All right.
swing back to the top. Now in your mind's eye, the bottom is gonna happen somewhere out in there.
Right.
So you press in, come around, bingo. So let's see you mimic some of those.
Okay.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. Do that again. That's awesome. That's so good. That's so good. You know how good that is. Now put some speed on it. Way to go.
Should my head lower?
At this moment in time, don't worry about that.
Okay.
There's all kinds of things we could say that you should or shouldn't do. It's too much.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just keep it real simple.
All right.
Wow. Watch him go. Down 4-6, out 2-6 with the path.
All right.
That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I still didn't do it.
that,
I only did half of it.
you did.
Okay.
But again though, it's too much to do.
Right.
I mean, we're really taking a gamble in making this big of a change at this point in the season.
Okay.
But it's the very best point in the season to do it because it sets up your next season.
Okay.
It's kind of like you got good enough weather now, you can rep it out.
Right.
A lot of people will wait till off season to change, and then they lose weather.
Right.
Now they're in a little bit of a pickle.
So if I go, what is the best practice structure? If I can get, let's just say I can get out there 3 times a week. Do I get one of these things and you just go at it?
I would get something like that.
Okay.
That's the Genghis box or the G box, whatever you call it. It's their
I like it.
arm shallower deal. Good product, a good guy. I mean, I'm not tied to the company. I paid for it.
Right.
But it obviously is working really well for you.
Okay.
Just so we're clear, all we really did was a little steeper shoulder turn, go to the top. That's why I kept tugging on you a little bit like this.
Yeah.
And then this press in and around as you squeeze that together. Yeah. That was really good. I mean, you're doing super with it. So to answer your question about what would you do? 10 minutes of block practice after the warm up.
Okay.
But as soon as you trunk slam, you need to start getting your brain on the fields.
Okay.
And then after a little warm up, 10 minutes of block practice, and then stop the block practice and try a little bit of simulation. So your driver, go back, tap out, grab a 7-iron, pre-shot routine, hit that, tap out, hit a wedge,
Right.
tee a 7-iron up, par 3, driver, do that for 8 or 10 minutes, go back, block it out, drill it out,
Okay.
then go through that again.
Okay.
You need some diversity because raking hits, no recipe.
Right. And is there any, I guess the biggest thing is the transition. So almost all this work should be full swing. Is that a true assumption or not?
Yeah, but you can do mirror work at home. You can get a feel for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, all of that you do is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about when I play? So
It's hard. So when you play, you got to get in that zone of, okay, target, react, move on.
Okay.
You really do. It's hard to do, but you have to.
Right.
How do you, Larry? How do you practice? How do you practice knowing that he's like right now? We're gonna go out and play 18 holes tomorrow, and like you said, this is a year's worth of work. How do you play? Because you can get stuck in between swings, you know.
Absolutely.
Until you feel it.
You know, first thing is you got to give yourself some grace. You need to play, you know, do some things like it might be a good time right now for you to, you know, move up a set or two of tees. It might be a good time for you to, you know, to be a little generous on your lines, your score, all of that. It's not a great time for you to go play tournament.
Yeah.
Play competition. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there are guys playing the British Open this week who were in transition with something.
Yeah.
Now, they've got a lifetime of experience to understand how to deal with that, but, you know, everyone's in transition of something almost all the time. But one thing about golf is it's never constant. It's always changing. But you're in a new conceptual phase where we're changing so much. Give yourself some grace.
Okay.
As it relates to play. But you got those fast. Today was less than last time.
Yeah.
You know, information wise.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd already studied your video. I already anticipated what you're going to do. And I felt like that's where we were going. So
That's genius.
but I had a good feel for what we were going to show up with today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now when you do that, watch this. You can hit shots and just kind of hold that finish on this side,
Okay.
and you get a ton of feedback.
All right.
So you can kind of go, you know, where you would work on this. You're working down, you're working around, but then you just kind of stop right there, and your chest is turned up with your hands, and you just hit these little shots where you're just going. And you get a lot of feedback that way.
Okay.
Let's see you do that.
All right. Too far.
And when you do that, like you say, okay, well, I'm shanking a few, just give yourself like a little.
Oh yeah.
That
Okay.
way you don't have to really worry about two things at one time.
So you said for this one, it's just I'm trying
They're
to
just going right there, man. That's
Just
it,
trying to
right there.
figure.
That's it. Yeah. Nothing else. Yes, sir. And now you've got an in-tight pivot right there. You probably haven't seen his body look like that in that finish. So that really just lets you practice that part.
Okay.
Ah, that's so good right there. Let you go. So you see, without the training aid, there's a little bit of that steepening there,
Yeah.
but you did a lot of good things there.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're just kind of feeling that work this way a little bit. And that's something like at home you would be doing is you just be in front of the mirror and just kind of get these feels of going. And it's not that's not like a manual shallowing. We're not talking about how we move the club.
Right.
We're talking about it moved that way because there's that squeeze there.
Yep.
You know, it's just like that's not like a positional thing. That's a reaction to the squeeze. That's right. And make sure that when you squeeze it, that you're not talking about pulling it to your belly. You're just talking about a little squeeze. We're not talking about narrow. That's right. We're not at all saying lag or narrow or pull down the handle or none of that.
It's just so funny to me because when like just in my peripheral vision, so if I come up here and then if I do everything you're saying, like and my hands are right there, I feel like there's no way.
Turn that toe down.
And
Keep
then-
going. Keep going. Keep going. Hey, why don't you do what you just did right there?
Okay.
Why don't you let yourself just get shocked that the ball's there?
Okay.
Go to the top. Okay, keep coming slowly right on into the ball, yeah. And so, you know, it might look something where you would just hit this chip right from the end of the tee. Yeah, just keep on going. That's right, yeah. Give your, you know, one thing about Tiger is he had no vanity.
Yeah.
He didn't care to look bad in practice.
Yeah.
To do all these funky feels. I mean, the guy hit shots, run the 100-yard hole and back, just to raise his heart rate. Nobody else doing that. There's no vanity in that from, you know, from a player. Most guys will put their rods down because it'll look cool. Go to the top. You feel yourself keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep on. Yeah, that's right, that's right. That's a great way to practice it.
Okay.
Yeah. And no hit at the ball, just let it keep coming. So let me guide you through this one. Set up there,
Okay.
look at the ball,
Okay.
okay, go to the top. Okay, keep coming, heavy, heavy, heavy. Good job. That's it. That's a perfect motion for you. Now add just a smidge more flow to it on this one.
Smidge more flow.
Yeah. Beautiful. And when you have that flow, you're thinking this thing's getting heavy, bendy. There's no push on it at all.
Yeah.
There's just, you can feel all the way. Keep going. That's right, you can go right onto the ball, that's right. Keep coming,
Oh, sorry, stop.
top. Keep coming, beautiful.
Mm.
Way to go. Big feels to make a small change. Put a little bit more flow to it, a little bit more speed behind it.
All right.
Top. So you just didn't get the face shut, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you go screw it shut with the left hand, not the right.
That's right.
To the top.
Ah,
That was right hand.
I'm right hand.
That was a little bit of right and a little bit of tumble, but nothing close to where you were.
Okay.
So to change a little move like that, you know, if we were doing this like, you know, pro player style, we'd be doing this over 2 days, 8 hours a day each day. You see the change, the smallest little field. Does that make sense?
Yep, it
It's
does.
not easy. You
All
know,
right, let's do it on slower speed.
what you're doing just now.
Okay.
Keep going. Watch him go.
Yeah.
And you'd be getting coaching like what we're doing right now to make the change. When I leave a full day session with a player like that, you know, they're leaving there. They've got a few battle scars. 'Cause I'm pushing them pretty hard. Go to the top. Nice. Very good, man. Now, without me helping,
Okay.
from behind, give me that little like peripheral kind of guide there. Now you're gonna get video.
Okay.
Now you gotta do it on your own.
All right.
So if you don't do this one right, you gotta give me $500. Get it right. Okay, relax your arms and go. Awesome. See, we know what motivates him there. That's the money. Yeah, cash.
All right.
Very good, man.
Very good.